Alright boys and girls, and welcome back to another building video. This time I'm coming back with a nice, cute, little solo duo base design that comes equipped with everything I think you guys are going to need to enjoy your wipe. Alright guys, and welcome to the tour of the Finite. This is a small, cute little solo duo base, and I hope you guys all enjoy. You can see we start off with a funneled entrance into our little courtyard that we defend with some petricos. Now, in total we're going to have 4 squares that come a part of this funnel, and they are all pretty much spare. You can fill them with whatever you want. I got a smelting room there, charcoal room over there, and you can see these petricos look inside of compound and outside of compound, which is really useful. And if you've got the barrels, you can hide those up there for some storage when you respawn. 2 turrets are going to cover through a nice bit of chain link, solid 5 HVs to take those out, and they'll even break the bunker for you, which is super nice too. If you like building and you're looking to improve, my Discord is a wonderful place to be. We've got multiple great builders, including me, to answer any questions that you may have, an extensive moderator team, and if it's my building style that you like and you don't want your base layout to be visible on YouTube, then you can open a ticket and look into getting your own custom base design for your own personal use. Cheers lads, let's go on with the tour. Little external bunker here, and you can just break that, and it opens again by adding a triangle roof. Super nice, attached to the base, no externals needed, no compound needed, just something easy to set down and enjoy for the rest of wipe. More breach peaks that allow us to look outside, and super nice angles here. Good little head glitch there on the brutalist ramp. Got a little retake for second floor. If you take off that window glass, anyone's running around in there, you can take them out. Jumping up, we got some boxes hidden upstairs, and we can see our jump up to the next floor and our kind of central area of the 2x1 right here with some more storage, and of course you can add boxes on the floor too. Now if you've got a keen eye, you can probably see we have a little bunker here that leads down into our 2x1 starter. Nice little stair bunker, and the way we integrated that is actually really impressive, and I can't wait to show you guys. Dropping down to the opposite side of the base, we have once again this same bunker plus 2 more spare squares, and this time we've concealed a stair bunker in here. So this bunker is still 8 rockets to access, allows us to bunker our core from the outside, and you can see when we break that twig, you can now drop down into the 2x1 starter base. So the way that works out is super nice, and if they're already on the raid path of the freehand bunker, then it's not going to benefit them to take out that triangle. So that works out super nice, and of course starter's nice and compact and easy to expand from. Then we can go ahead and jump up to our 3rd floor, and there's 2 ways to do this. We've got a nice ankle bite retake here for shooting floor, and you can close and open that door there. Then we can also ankle bite underneath the shop front. This shop front is my new favorite thing to build with, and I really like how it's been integrated here as well. Super smart in my opinion, and it gives a nice one-way retake out into the shooting floor in case anyone's running around in here that shoot. Then we've got our nice downward angles, and of course some faraway angles too in the shooting floor. Really nice here, and the ramp's going to allow us for that crouch peek. Shooting floor is nice and open. You can get some turrets in here to cover if you need, and all these downward angles are looking in the perfect spots to make sure nobody's running around. On either side of the base is a garage door that drops down into another kind of square, and you can see this is also a quick shoot from compound straight into shooting floor. Really nice here, good mobility, allows us to sneak out and around from shooting floor to 1st floor nice and fast. Jumping up here, we got a spot for a bed, some nice angles down the way, and of course retakes up onto our roof. From here we can retake anyone that's out on the outskirts and in the center with a nice sign over that door to tighten up that angle, and round on the opposite side is of course the roof exit. Jumping up here, we can come out onto our roof, and again we have the retakes over here as well. Really like how this turret works. It actually covers the entirety of the roof, all from that one spot, which is super smart, and of course that's 5 HVs as well with the chain link set up there. More downwards angles on roof to cover any blind spots we might have missed, and some faraway angles, again using that shop front. Very nice, no BP needed for this thing. Very cool item indeed, very much like it. In the center here we have spots for a minicopter, and all the way at the end of that minicopter garage you've got your drone accessible shop. Up on roof we got a couple more angles to check out here, and of course that turret is covering all the way through, which is super nice. Got the retakes up here, and nobody can drop down below when we use that stone roof. Really nice downwards angles here, far away angles, and of course the turret is watching all the way around. Overall, I think you guys are really going to enjoy this base. Now I'll go ahead and let you know what the base costs. First of all, on screen is the total build cost. Second up is that base cost in box amounts, so it's easier to visualize. And lastly is the total upkeep that's spread between 1 TC, nice and cheap for you guys. And now we'll go ahead and move on to the building tutorial. Alright, let's get to the building portion of today's video. And we're going to be starting off with a 2x1 footprint. You're not unfortunately going to get the airlock for this one. It's a jump up immediately on that triangle, so no single door airlock today. You could have it in the beginning in wood if you prefer, but I think it's best to just follow along from this stage. Add in your jump ups as shown. Seal in that airlock at the top with a double door. And then down below you can add in a couple of frames and of course your tool cupboard. Getting that TC in the back left corner, and we'll pull a triangle shelf through later on. Add in a couple of doors and give yourself something to jump on. Hobo barrel, furnace, anything you need in the beginning. Whatever you do, make sure you don't place a triangle shelf, or that is going to break our stair bunker later on. Jumping off the side of the base opposite to the airlock we just built, and we'll add a little temporary twig jump up here, and make sure that is a temporary jump up. It's not going to stay, and that's how we leave that on the 2x1. Just a little jump up there for you guys to use. Then you can drop off the side that has our airlock, and we'll go ahead and start building one of our bunkers. Nice to get the bunkers down as early as possible. That lets you guys log off. Say wipe day's maybe not a movie, it's okay. You can go ahead and just add in your bunkers, throw your best stuff in here, and head to bed if need be. But that's what we're looking to do here, is a free-handed bunker. We want our bunker to open from one side but not the other. That means it's connected at one side but it's created a bunker at the other. We're looking for 79% on the wall, and you're going to remove all these foundations, do a short build out to change it to a triangle. Then we can upgrade everything. Go ahead and upgrade this to stone or whatever you have at the time. Eventually you can armor these bunkers, but the high wall will be visible from the outside, so it might give things away whilst adding some strength. On the inside we're going to add in a frame, and we're going to rotate the frame to activate the conditional. That's going to cover up any gaps that we may have in our freehanding, and that's what we're looking for in total here. Let's do a short build out now to bring a main base square foundation around the front, and then that's going to connect everything up and allow us to continue the footprint along in a symmetrical position. Then we can go ahead and build our little bedroom here that comes with the Patricos, and we'll cover the gap at the top of the bunker with a frame here. Make sure your bunker still opens after you've placed the frame. If it doesn't, then you've connected it to the wrong socket, and you just need to ensure that you're bringing it over from that frame. Once you've done that, you can wrap this in walls and create your little bedroom with the Patricos facing forward. Plugging the top half of the Patrico and leaving space for a barrel in there for extra storage, and a box to access when you first spawn in for a little bit of base defense. Go ahead and upgrade everything. Add a ceiling on top of this, and then your windows. And there we go, that's what it's meant to be looking like. You can go ahead and jump around to the opposite side of the base now. We are going to honeycomb this square that is opposite our airlock, so this one doesn't get used. You can honeycomb that triangle in. And then from there, this side we leave open with the shelf, and that's where our bunker is. Add a half triangle in there. And we'll do our free-handed square again. And again, this is all just mouse placement. Takes a bit of practice on a build server rather than a live one. A bit of jiggling back and forth. You're trying to clip one corner in, but not the other, leaving as small of a gap as possible. Looking for 79% on our wall. Double checking that it opens from only one side. And then we're swapping that foundation out with a triangle. From there, we're good to open up the bunker, add in our frame. Sometimes having this frame here makes it a little bit harder to freehand, so if we do it in this order, it's better. We can activate the conditional to cover up any gaps that we may have. And then we're going to bring a main base square in front of that bedroom again. Then we can add in a frame. And again, we want to make sure our bunker still opens after placing that floor frame. So just double check before you upgrade anything. Don't want to get it on the wrong socket and end up breaking the bunker. Then we can go ahead and build the exact same bedroom over here. Alright, once you've done that, we'll move over to the opposite side of the base where we've not worked on, and we're going to create a little circle with a high foundation over here. This is where our breach peak is going to be. We're going to have a spot for a turret. We're going to honeycomb the 2x1, and we're going to have a way up into second floor. So a lot going on here. Over on this side, we're going to have a little peak up, remember, so we can add a frame in there. And that's going to be our jump up to third floor. And then the other two door frames just wrap through to the core. And we can roof in all of this. Just like that. Got a little spot for a loot room here too. And then the rest is just honeycomb. Wrap in some walls here. Add a spot for some furnaces. And an extra loot room can go in this triangle here. Wrapping it in walls. And a half shelf for some boxes. Then just seal in the core with some frames and some floors. And we can do the breach peak thing over on the opposite side of the base. Of course, removing this temporary jump up now. We've got our main way up to base. Let's just do the same thing over on this side. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and drop down, adding in a couple squares here. And we can wrap these in walls. And then a double door is going to create our funnel. And again, these squares can pretty much be left just to apply anything spare. Whatever you think of, just stick it in there. The funnel doors don't need to be open at all times. It's just a useful mechanism to use in between. Four of those squares in total, and they need the walls on them to make sure they don't decay. So don't just place the foundations and then stop, or else they could decay. Once we've done that, we can add in the roof ramps for our breach peak. Making sure we leave those till last, because they can block the placement of the square if you are someone who doesn't have any DLCs, or if you're on console. Make sure you do it in that order. You can also honeycomb over here, just in case you forgot. Over this way is our mobility up into shooting floor from down below, nice and fast. So just make that little mobility chute like I do. And then once you've done this little chute, you can add that over on the opposite side as well. Next, we can add in some frames on these squares, and we only need 2 out of the 4. And then from there, we can add a ceiling on top. That's going to be for our shooting floor. Place in this triangle for the offset kind of peak. And you can't drop in there, so don't worry. Once you've gotten all 4 of those up, you can just wrap them in windows and frame them off as well. Don't forget a ramp for crouch peak. Once you've done all of that, you can make your way over to the mobility chute, and we'll continue that over. Wrap some frames around the back for the downward angles that we have on roof, and then you can add in walls over here. We have a spot for a battery to the left, and then the door path continues through the middle, adding in a shop front in there to continue that little ankle biter we have. Add in a couple of doors here for those double doors, so that we can seal up the gaps in our shooting floor. And then we have a little centerpiece in the middle as well, where you can add in some lockers and some beds. Dropping down here, we can add in a little doorway for our mobility chute. And then one of these is going to be a roof peak up, and one of them is going to be a roof exit. So that side's our roof peak up, and then I'm going to make this side our roof exit. And then we can just ceiling off the entire 2x1, and we're just mimicking the triangles that are below over that shooting floor part. Alright, let's begin with the roof design, starting off with our turrets. We're going to add in a bunch of frames for chain link. On the back wall there's going to be a wall, and then we can add in some more frames, and we're going to have that turret up on a shelf. Make sure you place your chain link before you place the shelf and turret, as sometimes the shelf can block the chain link, so that's something to keep in mind. Over on this side, we have the downwards angles with a spot in the middle for our shop front. Let me just raise up those low walls so Mainbase has a little less visibility onto our roof, since it's not the biggest base in the world. And then in between, we can just add in some simple triangle roofs. And we're also going to have the doors that we have in shooting floor down below up on roof as well to cover any gaps too. That's where these doors go in, and just have them swinging out the way. In the middle, of course, we have got our minicopter garage, and around the opposite side we have our vending machine shop. And then just some windows in between. Cap it off with a ceiling and create a spot for the windmill up top as well. And we can ceiling all of this in. Alright, a little bit of deployable work now, and the bunker too. The bunker simply opens with a triangle roof ramp. You can just leave that twig, don't upgrade it or anything. And we're going to go round to the side that has our drop down to starter base. And opening up the bunker, we can go inside. And we place a triangle here. After breaking the roof, place a triangle, throw a staircase on top. And then just upgrade it to armored. Or metal, or whatever you have on you. And then you can just F1 kill, basically. That's how you seal the bunker, or you can just go to sleep in here too. That works perfectly fine. And in the morning, you come through, spawn on a bag, open up with some twig, and break the twig in there. And that'll demolish the metal staircase. As for embrasures and such, we just go as follows. Pretty simple stuff. Before you do the embrasure, you can place a barrel up there too for some storage. All comes through pretty nice. Get your doors swinging out the way like this to create that little funnel. So when you open those up, it's going to close the gap. Pretty nice. Closes both gaps as well, which is cool. In shooting floor, the double doors again are just swinging out just like so. Super simple. And we do those again up on roof as well. Embrasures here, we have 2 of them backwards. And then 2 around the other way. Then you throw in your chain link, and then you can throw in your shelf, and then you can throw in your turret. And then you can put down that last bit of chain link in front. After the turret's in and all plugged in. Shop front goes down like so, and you can choose what side to have the gap on, and make sure you lock that up and place a large box so you can utilize that angle better. And then once you've done that, we've got a couple of windmills to throw down. And then once you've done that, that completes the base design. Hopefully you boys and girls have enjoyed this one. If you did, then please feel free to leave me a like and drop me a comment down below. This is a banging base, so I hope to see you out there on some servers. Remember to check out Rust Magic and use code SPINKY, and I'll see you boys and girls in the next one. See you in a bit.